try something here I've never really done on the show. And that's we are going to go for a little walk. And we're going to go see the backing press that I used to round or to back that text block. Good morning. Welcome to Bailey the Bookman. We're back. We're here at the store, 29B Roland Crescent, St. Albert, Alberta. And yeah, we were away last weekend. We were on a little road trip out to Regina. So it's good to be back. It was a nice break though. It's an interesting drive to Regina. I've done it a few times the past few months. But the landscape is absolutely gorgeous. At times it's just breathtaking, right? People, oh, it's just flat and boring, but it's not entirely. It is its own beauty. This is my Walking Dead mug. It says, "If Daryl dies, we riot." It's true. And I see the promos are starting to come back up for The Walking Dead. They're going to resume the season. I wonder what they're going to do here. It's getting a little bit plodding there at the end of the last season, but I love zombie stuff, so I'll tune in. So yeah, here we are at the store. We're back in the saddle. Had lots of interesting stuff going on the past week. Had a few people come in with some estate stuff. Found something really cool at Spafford Books. I'm going to show you here in a minute. And then yeah. Oh yes, I have a very special mystery guest this morning. I can't wait to introduce him or her to you. You have to stay tuned to find out who it is. So, anyways, I hope everyone's staying safe and healthy, minding the protocols. We've seen quite a spike the last few weeks. Of course, we've had the return to school, which I can't imagine how stressful that has been for parents. So I'd like to give a big shout out to teachers, school support staff, and of course the parents. It's I can't imagine. It's been a stressful time. So hang in there, and hopefully everything will, fingers crossed, everything will work out well, and we can all keep everyone safe. Okay, so I had a very, very nice surprise yesterday from my favorite big brother. He always keeps an eye out for interesting book stuff for me. And he showed up with this. Pretty cool, huh? And yeah, it's a clock with books on either side of it. How much better does it get than that? And it's like War and Peace, Gone with the Wind, and some nice binding stuff. So thanks very much, Tom. It really made my day. It's always nice to get presents, isn't it? And if you haven't had a chance to, see somebody for their birthday or a special anniversary or occasion the past 6 months, maybe send them a little surprise gift. Sure made my day. Probably worked for somebody else. Tom also keeps an eye out for amazing shoe-related things for the CFO, who loves her shoes. So we have 2 giant shoe chairs at home now. They're very cool. I'll have to take a picture or something and show you guys one of these days. So last time we spoke, kind of, sort of, we were fostering a greyhound by the name of Skippy, and we had Skippy for a week, and he was a wonderful boy. A really nice dog. He was young, energetic. He was smart, and it was a Highland. But you know what? We're still not quite ready to have another forever dog just yet, since we lost Dixie. But it was nice having Skippy around, and we love our greyhounds. So I want to send a shout out to the Northern Skies Greyhound Rescue Society. They're located just outside near Gibbons, Alberta. You can Google them, Northern Skies Greyhound Rescue, and check them out. They're not bringing a lot of dogs in right now, just like a handful here and a handful there because of COVID and the difficulties in getting across the border back and forth. But so good on them for managing to get a few in, because the tracks are still closing down down south, and these dogs need to be rehomed. Now, one of the challenges Northern Sky Society is facing, like virtually every other charity in North America, is their fundraising events have been canceled. It's a big hit for many of these charities that rely on support from all of us in various ways, whether it's the MS bike ride or rescuing greyhounds. So if you have an opportunity or you're so inclined, and can go find the Northern Skies Greyhound Rescue Society webpage. If you, like I say, are inclined to support them, it would be very much appreciated, because they need our help, as so do many other charities. Oh, and we're going tomorrow morning. We're going to go get another foster, who has just come up from the U.S. We're going to keep him or her for a week. We won't know until we go tomorrow morning out to the Northern Skies facility. It's their kind of acreage. And we're gonna keep this hound for a week or so. They apparently have a forever home in Calgary, so they're going to stay with us until they get a few things sorted out, and then off they'll go to Calgary for their forever home and new parents. So unless this dog steals our hearts, and then we'd have to steal her or him. I'll let you know how it turns out. Okay. Oh my goodness. What else? A couple of weeks ago, I showed you a book about A.E. van Vogt that I had found, one of the foundational science fiction writers of the late 40s and early 1950s. Regular contributor to the pulp science fiction magazines of those days, which are awesome. I have a few of those in the shop too, if you're ever interested in seeing some. Excuse me, I got a real bug in my throat this morning. And I was so pleased to find a hardcover version online from Ken Sanders Bookstore in Salt Lake City, Utah, that I ordered it. And I think I now have the collecting bug for A.E. van Vogt. I've got a couple of paperbacks at home. I really love his work. Very interesting science fiction writer. The movie Alien is based on loosely on one of his stories from the 50s. So yeah, it's funny how different avenues of book collecting can get started. But I think I got the bug now. And when I was in Regina last Saturday, visiting Spafford Books, because I have a little bit of work from Leah to repair some books, a book for her that she needs the boards reattached and a couple of things tightened up. And so when I was there picking that book up to bring home to do the repairs, I said, hey, have you got any A.E. van Vogt? I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Maybe somebody with a Dutch background could tell me. So the spelling is V-A-N space capital V-O-G-T. And I pronounce it Van Vogt. Silent G? I'm not sure. So if you know, let me know. So anyways, I asked, I said, do you have any in the shop? And gets on, looks, goes, yes, we have one. And it was one I'd never heard of. I know, right? So ended up bringing it home, and guess what? It's signed. You can see right there, and it says "Best Wishes." A.E. Van Vogt, and this is called. It's a biography, which he kind of, well, I guess it's an autobiography because he kind of wrote it himself back in the day. Some researchers at UCLA University interviewed a number of writers like him who started off in the early days of science fiction and recorded their life stories because no one else was doing it, and things happened and they wanted to get it down and record it. So AE took those transcriptions of those interviews, there was hours and hours and hours of it, and turned it into this book. And he was born in Manitoba. So this was published in 1975, and one of the critical things that I like the signature, of course, but it also has a complete bibliography of his works, starting in, oh my goodness, 1939. So this will be invaluable to me as a bookseller to research his work, confirm publication dates, first editions, how many copies, all of that sort of stuff. It's invaluable. Yes, I love this book. So there you go. I'm hooked now on collecting A.E. Van Vogt. Who knew? Okay, I have to keep an eye on the time because we're going to go see our very special guest here in just a moment. Fine Books magazine. My new copy just arrived yesterday in the mail. Awesome, getting a print piece of material that you can actually sit and flip through and read. If you have any interest in books at all, from any kind of angle or aspect, subscribe to this book or this magazine. It's very well priced, let's say, and it's awesome. Okay, I want to bring you up to date on the Huck Finn book that we're rebinding, our first Canadian edition of Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. I don't know when the last time I showed you something here on Facebook, but we've got it all sewn, as you can see. We did 3 cords, kettle stitches on the end, and just yesterday, kind of hard to see with the cords in place, we did the rounding and the backing. So the rounding is, well, this kind of round, hold that properly, the round shape here on the spine, right? So you want that, and this book had that original shape, so I want to retain that as we move forward with the rebinding. The backing is when we put a little lip along here, and we need to do that so that when we take our boards that we, oops, don't want to bang the corners, damn I did, we take the boards that we've cut and they will fit right in, as you can see, right into that little shoulder we made along here. And then when these come over, that's how we'll attach the boards to the text block. Yeah, turned out rather well. I'm quite pleased with the progress so far. We'll keep you posted as we move forward. Okay, one of the tools I used yesterday to do the backing on this particular copy is over here in the other part of the shop. Now I'm going to try something here I've never really done on the show, and that's we are going to go for a little walk, and we're going to go see the backing press that I used to round or to back that text block. And I acquired this press many years ago, but it was essentially inoperable because it was too banged up and didn't work properly. So, well, let's go meet him. Here, I'm gonna. Okay, we'll try it this way. Hey, Al, this is.
Hello, Bailey Bookites. Pleased to meet you.
We're trying to socially distance, but my arm isn't long enough. So Al and I have been friends for well over
Forever.
50 years.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know how we do that,
60 years.
seeing as we're only, 39.
Yeah.
Anyways, oh, Julie, is that your dad? Oh, look, it's Dad.
Hi, Jules.
Okay, so here's something else I haven't tried before. Oh, now it won't let me.
All those years of radio and television arts were wasted.
On me, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
You should be star production.
Okay. When I practiced this earlier, I could flip the camera around so we could look, but now it won't let me do that. Jeez. Now that it's live. Anyway, okay, well, we'll do it this way. So, Al.
Okay, as Barry said, he picked this up. I believe he got in Saskatchewan somewhere, right?
Actually, yes, at Spafford
Yeah.
Books.
Yeah, so anyway, as he was saying, it was inoperable. It was pretty rough shape. So I was looking at it one day and I thought, I can do something with this. So basically, I took it home and as Barry said, it was inoperable.
Now, we had a great big wow in, was it here?
Well, this one here. This is the anvil, the press in the anvil. This presses up against the anvil. So this was wowed out.
Yeah.
So I got a piece of salvage angle iron and I replaced that. And
What, this whole piece here?
this whole piece has been replaced. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
And then I tried to retain as much of the old machine as I could, like these oak blocks here are the original. And the interesting thing about him is what he used for lubrication, the guy that built this, is there's lead pipe in here.
Lead.
Lead pipe, yes.
Are you poisoning me?
Yes.
Oh, no.
So don't lick these. Because every time it moves back and forth, it leaves a little film of lead on, and that's what slides back and forth. Because lead is kind of slippery.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, so anyway, I gave it a clean up. I didn't go all the way and make it totally smooth, fill all the holes, because this was actually built by a blacksmith. He took existing materials and he cobbled this thing together.
Now, how do you know it was made by a blacksmith?
Well, there's a lot of the components have holes that have nothing to do with this, like these ones that I just put these little bolts in.
Sorry, where?
Like these ones here, these holes have nothing to do with the operation of this. So it was a piece of angle iron he had. These, I think, came from the oil patch, these pipe, and they're really scaly. And you can see he just rounded it over with a hammer, and he just got different things and put them in. You can see different holes. But anyway, I cleaned it all up, and then I replaced all the jewelry, as I say.
The jewelry.
Yeah, all the nuts and bolts, and they nice and shiny. Put the acorn nuts on just to make it look good, and made a handle for this. It didn't have a handle on it; it was just shaved right off. So I took that off and made a handle for it, and then I add some embellishments. I put the wood on the sides here.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna turn. Look at him go. It's like he's done this before.
Yeah. So and I added an arts and crafts embellishment here. This is a green and green. The cloud lift, they call it.
Green and green. What's
green
that?
Green and green were instrumental in the arts and crafts movement in the United States.
Oh, they were artisans.
Yes, and they would design a house from everything. Furniture, the whole works.
Really?
So you would get a green and green house, and if you remember the movie Back to the Future,
I do.
When Doc was living in the garage.
Yeah.
Well, the house that garage is attached to is the classic green and green bungalow.
Really?
So when you see that in the movie, that house is the classic green and green bungalow. So I put that in, and then to celebrate Barry's things, I carved up this faceplate here, put on Bailey Books, and established in 2002. And I had this little applique laying around, so I just stuck that on. It looks pretty nice.
I'll say. I mean, goodness gracious, look at that.
And it's fully operational now.
Well, it is. I used it yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, I used it yesterday to back that book I just showed you. So, and you need something like this to, you get the book. in here.
Put your finger in there.
Yeah. and that's how you back the book, and it's a very important step in the process.
Yeah, it was a fun project. The planning process took a long time, a couple of years.
Hey,
Barry was wondering if he was ever going to get it back.
I wasn't being fussy, right?
But it turned out pretty good.
Well,
Barry was quite happy with it, and so I hope you enjoyed this little part of Bailey's books on this Saturday morning.
Yes, we have, and now that's quite a variety of skill sets, Al. So there's a little bit of metal work in there. There's a lot of woodwork in there. There's the kind of creative and design process now.
Well,
you're self-taught, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Yes. I do have a 1.5-year welding apprenticeship and woodworking I just really picked up in the last 10-15 years. But I worked for them at Public School Board for a number of years as a laborer, and I was a electrician's helper, plumber's helper, carpet layer's helper, roofer's helper. So I learned a lot of skills, and I didn't really realize it at the time, but when I started getting into this stuff, I found I had the skills already. I just needed to tune them up and
just use them a little bit more.
And the main thing is just the desire to do it.
Well, right. So, for me, that's a lot like for me, binding books. I love to do it. It's a great hobby, and if it turns out that I can sell one or two, awesome. I've incorporated the book repair part into the business more so, and even that's rewarding. People come in with a family Bible that's in pieces, and you can give them a nice finished book at the end of the day. They're very happy.
Yeah. Well, anybody that's in the St. Albert area, make arrangements to come visit the store, because it's a very, very fascinating place, full of stuff, and I love stuff.
Look, I don't know if I've ever actually done this here on this show, but here's kind of the store.
Like, he's got an extensive bookend collection for your books that you purchase at the store. He will sell you a bookend to stop him from falling over.
Just like the way I wrote it for him, huh? This is awesome. He should be the marketing guy for Bailey Books.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the show.
Well, yes, I certainly did, and thank you so much, my friend.
You're welcome. No problem.
For when you brought that in, honestly I was a little overwhelmed and
He squeezed out a tear.
A bit verklempt, because that was just astonishing, and I love it, and I use it. So thank you, my friend.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay, we're gonna wrap it up there. Bring the bromance to a close. So. You can find me at, make sure I get this right, baileybookman.com is the website. Bailey Books on ABE Books, right here on Facebook. Instagram every once a year. I'm a horrible Instagram guy. So, thank you for spending your time with us today. Very special thanks to my oldest friend. He's ancient, right? He's born in the 50s. Thanks to my oldest friend in the world, Alan Watson, for stopping in and sharing his story on the backing press. That was awesome. And stay safe. We'll see you next time on Bailey the Bookman.